Anyone?
It's continuous integration and continuous deployment. So if a developer makes any changes in his and updates in Git repository, it should get automatically updated in all the phases and in the production, as in the as an end user, it should reflect.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Wonderful.
What I understand, the DevOps is a development plus operation team, where development and operation team work together and deploy the application from development to live smoothly. It works on the feedback to the process or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Bridging the gap between the development and the operations team by means of automation and tools to send alerts and emails whenever there is a failure or something that that is something called as DevOps.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
We can say that it's a union of people, process, and products that allows us to deliver value to the end customer.
That's
Also, we
great.
can say
Wonderful.
that it's an
Mm-hmm.
extension of agile methodology. That is, we are providing agility in deployment as well.
Okay. Perfect. Wonderful. Wonderful. Very good responses there. And I totally agree with you guys, and each and every point is valid and correct there. So, DevOps, first of all, it's not like a technology, it's a methodology, right? Because why we say that? Because there is no specifications, there is no hard coding that tool A or tool B or tool C is what DevOps is all about. So we do have like different sections, we do have like different components available, and what really happens is like we really have like a pool of tools. Like for example, you are expecting that the pipelines would run in GitHub Actions in one project, but it's really possible that we can just simply go ahead and have the pipelines executed up into Jenkins, TeamCity, Bamboo, Azure pipelines, code pipeline, AWS code pipeline. So we don't have any kind of a limitation there. So certainly we have a huge history or a huge list of tools which we can simply go and we can deploy. But then what exactly is DevOps all about? It's actually a process, it's a methodology, right? And it's like something which was a need of the art. So I really wanted to, like skip some slides and, with some diagrams, just wanted to make you understand the things here. So we'll come to the DevOps first, but second, but first we'll try to cover some like terminologies, which is definitely going to come in the upcoming slides. I'll share this presentation also with everyone so that you can go through that presentation. Now, when we talk about the basics of a software development, everyone knows about the server and applications, right? So server and application is a very key aspect. So you have the applications, and to deploy these applications, you need the servers. Without the servers, the application deployment is not going to be possible here. So it's a very crucial thing. It's a very crucial aspect that for getting the applications deployed, we need the servers to be present there. Because once these servers are going to be present, then my application is really going to be up and running. So that's an important aspect to be talked about here. But when it comes to the application, so in the applications, a server, I understand that you have a Linux server, you have a Windows servers, you have like different servers available there. But when it comes to the implementation, we need to understand that how that setup is really going to be done, going to be performed, and then according to that, we will be able to get a hold of those kind of in details here. So we really need to understand certain aspects here. So what happens is that in the development, there is a methodology, waterfall model. Now, waterfall model is something which was the first model which we were having in the market in the industry. So when the development was there in the initial stage, so waterfall model was the only model which was really present there. And the main focus point of this particular model was that this one is something which is going to help the development team to support and to perform the development activities. So definitely that's one thing which was really happening. And definitely we are going to take care of that parts here. But there were some like fundamental problems. Now these fundamental problems were always there from the beginning itself, but organizations were kind of ignoring it. Why they were ignoring it? Because we were not having any kind of an alternative. So almost like I think in my last project, if I have an experience of 14 years, right? So 10 years I have collectively worked in the monolithic or in the waterfall model architecture only, because this was being used by the most of the because I've worked mostly in the financial institutes, like financial organizations. So they are like actively like working upon all these kind of in technologies, all these kind of in tools. So that's the reason why what happens is like these uh, different stages which we see over here, it's actually wasting a lot of development time. But since, like I told you, that we were not having any kind of an alternative there, so organizations were kind of ignoring it, and they were like really moving up over there on this kind of and stuff there, right? So definitely that's the important part. That's the important aspect which is going to be present here. Now, what's the different fundamental problems? So first of all, if you can see these stages here, like it's a step-by-step approach. So you have a requirement phase, then you take the analysis, then you go for the design, you go for the the implementation, then you go for the testing, then you go for the deployment, then you go for the maintenance. So you have all these kind of components which is really going to be available, and we can take care of that kind of an a setup here. So definitely that's a kind of an option which is going to be present here. But since you if you see this kind of the architecture, it's look very neat and clean. Why? Because unless and until my previous step is not executed, I'm not going to proceed further. It's a step-by-step approach, which means like if any of my stage is failing, or if there is any kind of an issue in that stage, so we will not be able to proceed further to the next stage. So it will stop there itself. We will not have any kind of an alternative there. Now definitely that's going to be a big problem, big constraint over here. Now how we are going to fix this one? So um there were some couple of challenges to this one. First of all, the time to market is very high. So why we are saying that the time to market is very high? Because if we are like going to follow all these different stages one by one, step by step, it's going to take forever, like a huge amount of time it's going to take to complete this whole cycle. So if somehow your requirement change in between, you cannot handle that. You will not be able to go ahead with that part, because of the fact that like if there is any kind of an issue in the requirements, you have to do the whole activity once again, and it's again a kind of a huge efforts for you to perform and execute all these things from scratch. So this is the biggest problem for the organizations who are innovating fast, who wants to deliver the things quickly, because this cannot go ahead and handle the changing requirements. So this is also one of the constraint and the issue which they are facing there. So requirements is rigid. You cannot at all go ahead and change the requirement in the later stages, and you have to be dependent on that particular aspect here. So this is something which is a kind of an like issues with the fundamentals of the waterfall itself, right? But again, like I said, that we were not having any alternative at that time. Nobody was exploring that which option we want to select, we want to choose, because this was kind of the basics, and everyone was kind of stuck with this one. So we were not having any kind of an alternative or options as such available there. All right, perfect. But yes, definitely when there is a problem, there will be a solution to that. The individuals go out and try to look for a kind of an alternative, like going to look for a fix. And what really happened, they promoted or they launched a new process called Agile, which is being used nowadays everywhere. Like almost everywhere, people are like going up and they are using the agile process. So this agile process is like a new standard, and it's like something which is where we are going to see like how the implementations are going to work. Now what is there as part of the scrum? Because there were some couple of issues which again I'm going to repeat, that we were having the issue with the fact that the requirements is not something which we were able to go ahead and we were able to change. So at least that is something which is getting fixed, right? That's one thing which is getting fixed in the Scrum. Second thing is that the overall waterfall model used to take like months of time duration to complete, but with the Agile, we can go ahead and we can do these kind of an activities in weeks itself. So that kind of an benefit is what we will be able to get that kind of an options here. Now, with the help of the Scrum model, so there is a sequence of steps which we, like get over here. Like for example, the very first thing which we have got is like the product owner. So what is the purpose of the product owner? So product owner is something which is going to be responsible for your application, right? So we need to make sure that the application is something which is going to be always up and running. So the product owner is going to take care of all these kind of user stories, going to make sure that all these kind of tasks are like put up in a list, but it's not an organized one. Nobody knows that whether we are actually going to work on this one or not. It's just a backlog, like a high level of list of the tasks which we need to do. But when you do the sprint planning, when you do the proper planning and the proper calculations, validations, at that time only what will happen, we will go for the sprints. We will be going for the sprint calculations, and with this one what will happen that we will be like start doing the activities. Now of course here also uh, we are following the same SDLC cycle, the same thing like design, analysis, and all. But the only difference is that in case of waterfall model, we were doing this kind of an activity for almost like 3 to 4 months. That's a standard time duration of waterfall model. But here we are actually doing it up in a small iteration. So instead of waiting for 3 to 4 months, we are like now doing these activities for every 2 to 4 weeks time duration over here in this one. Right? So definitely at the end of this sprint, we will be like looking forward for a deployment. It's a deployment activity which is going to be performed and executed over here, and that's how the things are going to be rolled out, and we are going to get the proper solutions here. So this is the brand new process, which is definitely going to focus on how the implementations are going to be done, going to be performed, and we are going to get the kind of proper solutions here. All right. So this is the new standard, and it simply helps the organizations to quickly go ahead and get the code deployed in the live environment, and we will be able to get the implementations done there. So when the organizations were following or like simply waiting for like 3 to 4 months for getting the code deployed, simply with the help of the Agile, we are able to do the same stuff in 2 to 4 weeks of time duration over here in this one. So that's the benefit which we will be able to get here. All right, perfect. Any doubts or questions in this one? Okay, fantastic. This is also one of the model, which is the Kanban model. And for example, if I talk about for a development team, so definitely they will be able to go ahead and they will be able to like kind of do some prior planning that what kind of in development is going to be done when this is going to be done. So they will be able to do that. But what if you're going to work as DevOps? Now, when I work as a DevOps engineer, right? So, what happens that sometimes I get a kind of a dynamic, uh, like dynamic kind of uh, tasks, which is not pre-planned. But of course, there is a downtime, there is a issue. I have to urgently see. I have to, like look onto that part. So, certainly that's like an important part or an important thing which we have to go and we have to do over here in this one. So that's a very crucial thing there. So when I cannot do the prior planning, so how it will work for me? So then that's where the Kanban model really comes in. Because when it comes to the Kanban model, so in the Kanban model, as you can see, like we have different stages available there. So these all different stages just looks very simple. Like for example, you have a backlog, you have a to-do list, you have ongoing list, you have done list. Because the thing is that it gives you a flexibility, like an kind of a mechanism that how exactly you can go ahead and you can move your kind of in tasks. Because with this one, what will happen that you can easily move certain activities or certain tasks from one status to another one. Like if you have some task in progress, but suddenly a new task comes in, so you can easily go ahead and move the new tasks to the in progress status, and you will be able to work with that. So this really gives a kind of an flexibility. This mechanism or this approach is giving you a flexibility that how exactly we can go and we can do the quick changes onto your tasks here. So that's a benefit, that's the advantage which we will be able to get it up over here in this one. Right. So these are the development models. Of course, you must be thinking that why exactly we are going to talk about these models. The reason why we are talking about these models, because you and me, we are like really going to work on these models actually. If not directly, but the developers are going to work and we are also going to work with them. So that's why it's very important for you and me and for everyone to really go ahead and perform all these kind of in setups here. But yes, these are the different kind of an implementations or setups which we are going to do, and we are going to talk about that kind of thing, like a scenarios here. Right? Perfect. Right. Now let's talk about the evolutions, the IT evolution. So a lot of things actually got evaluated over the period of time. We were like having some legacy approaches earlier. Then we got like some new standards, like new, like uh, best practices in the market in the industry. So definitely this is something which is going to make sense. And like if you closely see over here in this one, because like on the first section, if you see like first section, the development process. So we really went on from waterfall model to agile, but agile was not sufficient because of certain things. I'll talk about that stuff also. But since the agile was not sufficient, we got to DevOps. If we talk about the application architecture, we were having monolithic architecture, then entire architecture came in, then the microservice architecture really came in. For the deployments, we were having physical servers, then virtual servers came in, and then the cloud compute containers really came in there. Earlier, we used to depend on third-party data centers, then we got the hosted data centers, and then we got the cloud. So definitely the IT really got evaluate like got a real evolution, and with over the period of time, we got like new standards, new implementations down the line there, because it's really going to help us to understand that how the implementations are really going to work. And of course, if you see the market right now, people are using DevOps, people are using like microservices, people are using like containers, they're using cloud. These are all like the modern best practices which we are using in the market, in the industry at this moment of time. So that's why it's like very important and very crucial for us to go and to promote and to perform these things here. So this is the crucial aspect, and the like the core mechanism over here in this one. All right, perfect. Now let's talk about DevOps. So this is what I was talking about. It of course we talked about the difference between the waterfall model and the like and the agile model over here in this one. But we really wanted to understand that how the things are really going to work, and it's going to function over here. Um, Patrick DeBiosis and the Andrew Clay. These were the two individuals, and they were the kind of an I would not say founder, because it's not a tool which someone really founded or like something like that. Um, it's actually like they were working as a agile practitioners. They were like really focusing on the agile part, like how exactly the development best practices are being implemented. Uh, but they were like kind of stuck down. They were like facing a lot of issues, a lot of problem, because what really happened, um, they were like kind of um, facing the problems with the uh, agile there, because they were not able to get the desired like results. So what they went on, they thought like, why not we can go ahead and we can look for a better approach, because this is not actually giving us the best practices, like our best results here. So that's where they started exploring the things, like that's where they started exploring like how the things can be done, and they are like going to take care of those kind of functionalities. So they provided an example of an organization And that organization was actually there was an organization called Flickr. Now we also have that organization. So this Flickr application was actually doing 10 plus deploys in a day. Now, how they were doing, they were like doing it up in an automated manner. As soon as their changes are like done, it was getting deployed. So it was kind of a great integration, like a quick integration, which was being implemented and set up over there. So they started the discussion that this is a kind of a new standard which we should be looking forward, which is going to resolve all your core issues, core problem. And that's where like the things really went on, and we they started discussing about the like uh, the particular implementation. So that's why it's very crucial. That's why it's very much important for us to understand that how these mechanisms are going to work here. And then slowly but slowly, we started, like getting all these different, like tools being originated. We got like Chef, Puppet, Jenkins, Cloud, Ansible, Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform. So we keep on getting all these different tools one by one integrated together over here in this one. So that's the kind of an advantage which we will be able to like get it up over here in this one. So this is the like core benefit or core advantage over here. Right? So this is the whole history on like how exactly DevOps really got started here. But I do have one or two diagrams for you to have a better understanding that why Agile was not sufficient. Why exactly they felt that the Agile is not like really sufficient for them, and they are looking for any kind of an alternative. So I have some diagrams. One second. Yes. So if you see here that I'm actually like doing a kind of in comparison between the waterfall model, agile, and DevOps here. Now the very first thing which we have like on the top, so we have like waterfall model. You can see like we are doing the design part, then we are doing the coding part, and then we are doing the test and deploy. But the ratio of the time spent, how much time we are spending up on the like coding part as compared to the design and test and deploy, there is a huge gap. We are like ultimately spending a very high amount of time in the in the coding part, and there is very less time which is getting specified to the test and deploy here. So we can easily see a kind of a huge gap here. So that's where like the agile really came in, and like I told you that it's coming up as a kind of an alternative, like how exactly the agile is going to go ahead and fix our issues, fix our problems here, and help us with that kind of an part. So when you go to the agile, you see like rather than like spending a huge amount of time on the development part, we are saying that we will be doing this activity in small iterations. And as you can see, like we are doing the design, we are doing the code, test in small iterations. We are really going to do that kind of an activity here. So we are doing code and test part parallelly in small iterations. But again, although Agile was a good practice, like a good component, but in this one, what really happens that uh, we were still stuck. Why we were stuck? Because we were not like kind of proceeding further, and we were not kind of getting the code deployed as in a further sense here. So that's not like something which was really happening because we were kind of stuck in there. We were not able to proceed further. Still, we are doing the deployment towards the end only. So if some projects wants to go and deliver quickly to the market, to the industry, at least that is not something which was really happening over here in this one. So this is where the DevOps process really comes in the picture, because the organization really felt like how exactly they can go ahead and they can move up with that particular part here. So they really comes around with the DevOps process, because as you can see as per the diagram, so DevOps is saying that I will quickly go ahead and get your code deployed as soon as possible, like as soon as like you are getting your code deploy built out, or your code changes is done, we will simply go ahead and get your code deployed in the live environment. So this kind of an benefits or advantage is what we are going to receive and we are going to get here. And that's the reason why the organization are using DevOps, because they feel that it's going to be very easy for you, like for them to really go ahead and get the implementations done there. So that's the kind of the like the mechanisms or the setups which we will be able to integrate it up all together here. So we will be like doing the development in small patches, testing, deployment, everything there. Now, of course, this is not done manually. There is a lot of automation which is required, like CI/CD pipelines, which is definitely needed. We have to go and do all these kind of an activities, and then only we are going to get these kind of an results, these kind of an like an output here. So that's why it's very important and crucial for us to go and like perform all these kind of an tasks here. All right. So we will be definitely going to take care of that kind of an like parts, and we will like see those kind of functionalities here. All right, perfect. Any doubt in this one, because this diagram is actually going to give you the kind of a comparison here.
So, Anuj, due to automation only, we used to fast track the process in DevOps from Agile. Is it?
Um, can you repeat once again?
Through automation, I mean extensively using automation to integrate the tools, we were able to achieve a DevOps
Yes,
after
yes, of
Agile
course,
and Waterfall.
of course, of course, of course. Yes, definitely.
Okay.
All right, correct. So we will see that part, of course, definitely. So these this is the the core aspect that why like the DevOps, and it also gives you the itinerary, because it first waterfall model comes in, then we got the agile, then the DevOps really came in there. So it was like all together a kind of setups which we were like getting, and we were getting the solutions here. So anyone having any kind of doubts on this one? Okay. Now, one more diagram which we have over here. This one is actually like talking about the integration point of Agile and DevOps. Now, we have three teams there, right? Uh, we have like, we have the business team, which is taking care of the business activities. We have the development team who is going to take the requirements from the business team and do the development. And then we have the operations team, which is really going to take care of the the deployment part and the implementation, so that we can see like how exactly this is going to help us to understand that how the mechanisms are going to be maintained. So we are certainly going to take care of that kind of in viewpoints here, because we really need to understand that how the things are going to be rolled out, and we will be following that kind of an aspect. Now, when it comes to the implementation, right? So uh, in a happy path, all this process is going to work without any issues, without any problem. We don't have any constraint. We don't have any kind of an problem. We don't have any kind of an the like the issues altogether. Um, but let's say if the business team is like going for a push, like we have to go ahead and do these things. This is priority one, this is priority two, this is priority three. So in that case, what will happen that the development team will not be able to concentrate. It will be like in a very haphazard manner. There is no planning, there is no concentration, nothing is there. So in that case, in that kind of an approach, uh, what happens is that um, we have a process in place, like there is a standard in place called Agile. So under the Agile, what happens that this Agile is going to really like focus on the development part, on the fixing up the issues within the development and the business team. And when it comes to the like a conflict between, because development team will also say that my code is ready, get this code deployed from now itself. So, that is also something where we have to see, we have to find out that how the things is going to be done. So there what happens that we are going to look for that a mechanism. So we are going to say that yes, we are going to work on that part, and we are going to achieve that kind of an like a scenario. Say, all right. So we will be able to like make use of those kind of like a viewpoints here. So definitely that's the like the section or the setup which we will be able to like generate, and we will be able to perform it up over here in this case. So DevOps is going to fix the problem between the development and the operations team over here in this one, to understand that how this is going to be generated. Right? So that's why the Agile and DevOps is something which is going to be very crucial, and it's really going to be implemented here. Right? Perfect. So we will be like doing a lot of DevOps tools implementations there. Uh, I think I have that. Okay, so Git, Docker, Ansible, Kubernetes, all these kind of things which we will be doing, and we will be like performing it up over here in this one. right? So we will be like doing with the session. Now we will be having a session Monday, right? And we will be going for that. I just want to understand from you guys, because see, there will be some times where we are going to do a little bit lengthy demo, right? And it's very difficult to cover it up in 1 hour session. So will it be okay with you guys if I let you know in prior itself the agenda that on this so and so day we are going to do this? So will you guys be okay to extend this 1 hour session to 2 hours? Not every day, but a couple of sessions, because there are some sessions where like I need some time to do the integrations with you guys, and it's necessarily there.
Yes, Anush, yes, definitely.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I'm fine with that.
Great, because like, okay, if I'm running the git commands, it's fine, but when you do the integrations, let's say in Jenkins, so you need some time. So 1 hour is very less actually. So because if this course is of 50 hours, then 50 days, 50 working days is like something which is going to be more than 2 months. So like so definitely we have to keep it up, like maybe every week, if we can have a session of one session as 2 hours. So we can have like at least per week seven like kind of, yeah, I mean we have to cover up some couple of days so that we can because 2 months is very large, right? So that's what. Great, no issues. So the agenda for the next session is very simple, that we are going to talk about the Git, right? 2, 3 sessions it's going to take for us for the Git. So I'll tell you what exactly we are going to do is we are going to talk about Git commands, GitHub, doing the commits, changes, fixes, everything, branching, merging. We are going to do the code changes. We are going to do the code modifications. We are going to learn the Git commands, console tasks, GitHub console we will be exploring, and GitHub actions. The integration parts we will see later on, but how the GitHub action really works at a very high level, I'll share it up with everyone. But in a detailed manner, we will talk about the GitHub commands there. So then we will go for Jenkins, and then we will go for Jenkins. We will go for CI part, like build part, integrating it up with the the Git, and then we'll talk about Ansible, Docker, Kubernetes. Those different tools will come over there.
Okay.
Perfect. So that's it for today, guys. Let's meet on Monday. Happy weekend, and we'll continue.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Thanks, Anuj.
thank you very much.
Thanks, Anush. Thanks for the session.
Yeah.
Yeah, bye, team. Thank
Bye.
you.